I don't think you fellas know who you're messing with, see? What up, y'all? It's the Black Critic Guy, and today I'm here to review the anime Baccano. And I gotta say, this anime is so original and so hectic, yet it was so entertaining and actually is one of the best animes I've seen in years. Now, telling the premise of Baccano is quite a challenge because the plot is all over the place, and I don't want to give away anything that will count as a spoiler. So, to give it plain and simple, the basic premise of Baccano is it follows a series of events told in non-linear fashion in the years of 1711 and 1930 through 1932, all focused on a variety of characters who are all each connected in some way, shape, or form. And what you got is an intricate plot filled with entertaining characters and a fun anime to watch. Now, I was recommended to watch this anime 2 months ago by one of my good friends, JW, also known as the Venezuelan here on YouTube, and you need to make a video, Jay. And he said, like, this was such an entertaining anime. It kind of reminded him of Pulp Fiction, and I gotta say, I kind of see where he's coming from. Also, sadly, I'm not going to put any clips in this video because I feel like if I put clips in this video, it's going to give away some spoilers. So, no clips this time, just go watch the anime. It is awesome. One thing that will pull you into this anime right away is the story. The story is beautifully woven, and the non-linear form of storytelling keeps you interested, compelled, and wanting to see more. Think of it as like a jigsaw puzzle, or like connect the dots. When you connect all the pieces together, you get one beautiful or magnificent picture. And that's what Baccano is. It's just a bunch of pieces of a puzzle put together and you get this beautifully crafted anime. And one thing I noticed is a lot of people compare it to like Pulp Fiction about how it changed the game for movies, and this anime changed the game for anime. And I can see where they're coming from, and especially since it's told in a non-linear fashion, it does borrow heavily from Pulp Fiction. What I will say that it has against Pulp Fiction is it has more action, a lot more characters, and it's stretched out a little longer, as you can tell. The animation was solid, and the action scenes were intense and entertaining to watch. Scenes with this character named Landru and Claire are awesome to watch, and you need to have like good animation in order to like show the blows and show like all the crisp movements, and they do have really good animation. And I love how they kind of added a 3D element to it with the 2D element. It was awesome. And damn it, this opening has to be one of the catchiest openings I've heard since Cowboy Bebop. I mean, it just makes you want to like, you know, tap and dance or something. It's so jazzy. I loved it. And this goes without saying, but Funimation did a phenomenal job in the voice acting category once again. They're like the Pixar of the anime community. They just keep coming out with hit after hit after hit with their voice acting. I mean, seriously. And you know, it kind of takes place in the 1930s with all the mobsters and gangsters and stuff. So they all talk like this, see? But all the characters had such a range of voices, and it was so entertaining to watch it. And speaking of characters, the characters were quite enjoyable, with some of them being entertainingly maniacal. These are some sadistic motherfuckers. Now, there are a lot of characters in this show, and each one of them are so entertaining. I'm never bored for 1 second watching a different character or learning their different stories and stuff. But there are only like a few characters that actually stood out to me, and 2 of them is Isaac and Miria. These happy-go-lucky, optimistic, pretty naive and oblivious thieves that they go and they rob like simple things like a door or candy bars, or you know, just simple things, and they bring happiness no matter where they are, and they're so oblivious and so entertaining. They are the bridge that connects all of the characters, and when you leave the show, you only think about them because they're so entertaining. Well, not only think about them, but they're one of the last things that you think about when leaving the series because they're so fun to watch. Another character that you think about before you leave is Landru. This guy is one sick fuck. He is entertained by the fact of seeing someone get killed, or the sight of blood, or anything of violence. He's turned on right away. Not only that, but he enjoys the pain inflicted upon himself as well. He finds the thrill in that, and I'm just like, wow, this guy is fucking cool. At the same time, I'm glad that he doesn't exist in my time anymore, because oh my god, I'd be scared to death if I saw him walking towards me. And another character you think about before leaving is Claire, or known as Vino. He's a conductor on a train, and I'm not gonna say too much about his character, but he is quite enjoyable. He's almost on the level of Landru awesomeness. When you see this guy, he is probably one of the awesomest characters in this entire series. You don't want to fuck with him, trust me. And probably one of my favorite aspects of this show is the ending. I found it very enjoyable and very satisfying. Now, the real ending to the series actually ends in episode 13, with the whole events like piecing all together, and like it just comes to a resoluting end. But it continues with 14, 15, and 16, giving more like character development, and we get to see the characters interact with each other in a more humanly way instead of, you know, in a more maniacally way. But you get to see all the characters, we get development, and character chemistry between characters was really handled well in episodes 14, 15, and 16. And I think what really sold me on the final episode being so great is that there was a conversation that was had between a little girl and a grown man who you saw in the first episode, and they were trying to piece together, you know, the events of what just happened, and they were talking about how does anything really end, or does anything really begin? And they go into this like philosophical discussion about, oh, nothing truly ends and nothing truly begins, and sometimes you're not going to be satisfied with an ending, you want it to continue. And I was like, yes! Finally, someone addressed what I always felt. I just loved their conversation because they were talking about how, you know, some people are not always going to be happy about an ending. Some people are going to be happy about an ending. And this conversation was probably the best part of the ending. So overall, Baccano is a rare anime to come by. It changed the way that we can tell an anime story and made it exciting to watch. With its excellently told story, fun and enjoyable characters, and great animation, and intense and fun action scenes. And for the third time in a row, I'm sorry, I just keep getting good animes. That's why I'm going to give this anime a 5 out of 5. It's definitely worth epic masterpiece, because this is one of those animes that when I finished watching it, I wanted immediately to watch it again. I want to go out there and buy this on DVD or Blu-ray, and you know what? If I get the chance, I will, and I'm gonna watch it over and over and over again because I loved it. But anyway, Scene, what did you think of this anime? Scene, did you really like it, or did you really hate it? And let me know who your favorite character is, Scene. Anyway, I'm the Black Critic Guy. As you know, Scene, bridging the gap between movies and anime reviews. Scene. Till then, peace, YouTube.